Boom. Hey. Gina Potter is first, followed by Foxhill Dreams in the Heezy. Whoa! DB, Kathy Murphyson, Sanity, Kathleen, Matt Meehan, Queen of the South, Asmila J, Synthfan, Olivia, Lee Saunders, Julianne Gauthier, Tracy M, your boy Ken, Lucy L, and Brooklyn Dad in the Heezy. Karen Purdy is here. Too Real as It Gets, Pandora CRW. Hey! We got Jody Beckstein saying, hello, mates. Samantha B. Jennifer Rayner. Stacy Mendenhall. Amanda Crawford. Watcher Soko. Gavin Rutherford. Lori B. Victorina. Hey! What? There's Bernadette. Sheila Bird. That's Sheedy from Chicago. Cecile Kazemi, Jen and Fat Tony. What? Punxsutawney Mo. Tina G. M. Ward in the place to be. Ha! Hey! Lisa Hathaway. Alina Thomas. Welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad, and this is Storytime. Cling, cling. I love that part. I love that little cling, cling. I got some troll here named Colin Harrison who's saying I'm a punk ass pussy. Well, first of all, I'm going to let my mods take care of your punk ass. All right. And next, I'm going to thank you for giving me a view, a single view, and giving me a comment. And you can take your punk ass and you need to leave. And with that said, let's move right along. Happy Friday, guys. And happy Good Friday and happy Easter. Yeah, be gone, you Colin Harrison. Where's my moderators? All right, while you guys figure out the moderator thing, let's jump on in to our stories of the day. Stories of the day. Day 5 of the Chauvin trial revealed some helpful testimony from police officers. Another deadly attack at the U.S. Capitol has America on edge. Gaetz Gate continues to unravel, and it's getting sleazier by the day. Today is considered Good Friday, but why is it good? Last but not least, Lauren Boebert is today's You Raggedy Bish. Wait, we don't want that. We don't want the intro screen. All right, I think I booted that troll myself. He had some nonsense. I don't get it. Is your life that empty that you want to jump into a room full of people who enjoy each other's company and you want to take a dump? Man, go ahead with yourself. Anyway, I'm not letting that get me down because today is Friday. Friday, and Friday in the Brooklyn Dad household means that it is pizza and movie night. And tonight we are planning to watch a movie called Bliss. And this is starring Salma Hayek and Owen Wilson, and it's kind of got like a matrixy vibe to it. It's like, what is reality, and are you in the Matrix? That kind of feel to it. So I'm looking forward to that. The Matrix is actually one of my all-time favorite movies. Yeah. Also, yes, so I was verified. Some of you guys know it's not a comedy, Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha's asking if it's a comedy. It's not a comedy. It's kind of like it might be a comedy, but no, it's not really. You'd think because of Owen Wilson. But no, it's like a science fiction thing. And it actually didn't get great reviews. Like it was rated really low on Rotten Tomatoes. And Roger Ebert, the thumbs up, thumbs down guy, he didn't review it well, but I don't care. I like, a lot of the official movie critics, they don't jibe with stuff that I enjoy. They just don't. Like, I'm a regular guy. I'm not looking for, incredible cinematography, direction, and writing. I do appreciate those things when they appear in a movie, but the only way I'm going to pan those things is if I am not entertained, right? If I'm entertained despite some bad writing or bad cinematography or whatever, I'll give it some slack, but I just want to be entertained and it looks entertaining. But as far as verification goes, my tweets, they don't seem to sparkle. They're not sparkling anymore now that I got a blue check mark. Maybe I feel a little bit taller. Yeah, no, but it does feel good. It does feel good to be, validated, I guess, by the platform that I spend so much time on. It feels good, and hopefully my main hope from verification is that I won't have... Yes, Jen and Fat Tony, we did get the check mark. My main hope is that I don't have to chase around these doppelgangers who are constantly trying to impersonate me. Poorly, I might add. They poorly impersonate me. But I won't have to spend as much time chasing them down and trying to get Twitter to give them the boot. Now, hey, if you ain't got the check mark, you ain't Brooklyn Dad, all right? So step off! All right, so with that said, I think... Oh, let me just... a quick aside here. Some of you noticed today I did like a little mini roll call during the intro music, the chair dance jam, because I've got a bit more content than I expected, and I started a little bit later than usual. So I want to make sure we get the best of both worlds. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a traditional roll call today, but you know how it is. That's how it be on this show sometimes. Huh? Let's jump into these quick hits. Hit him! That punk ass. All right, guys, it's time for the quick hits. First up, the job reports from March, revealed some impressive numbers, as it seems that the United States economy has added 900,000 jobs in the month of March. Now, this is impressive, especially considering that the former guy predicted that the stock market was going to crash and everything was going to go to shit. The country was going to be in flames. No. Now, that's not to say, that we are all the way back. And President Biden made sure to explain to America during his speech today. He says, look, we still got a long ways to go. And not just with the economy. You see, a lot of people lost their job to COVID-19 and haven't gotten that job back yet. So, that was a careful balance that Obama always tried to strike. That's why he wasn't, parading his record to the world. He was like really cognizant of the fact that people are suffering. Yeah. So Joe Biden says, look, we got a ways to go with the economy. We have a ways to go with COVID. Don't let your guard down, right? Because we can't get the economy fully back until we get rid of COVID once and for all. And maybe COVID will never fully be gone, but if we're all vaccinated, or if we're mostly vaccinated and we wear the mask until, we reach that point with, I don't know, what are you calling it? Herd immunity, until then, we got to keep our guards up. And speaking of immunity and vaccinations, today, the United States registered 4 million vaccinations in one day. 4 million, that's a record. So that's good news. Oh, and you know what? Damn it, I forgot. Let me just go back for a minute. Back to Joe Biden, right? When he made this speech, I saw something that was noteworthy, right? A comment he made about who deserves credit for this improved economy.
Mr. President, will raising taxes slow the economy, Mr. President?
How much credit are you taking for today's numbers?
I'm giving credit to the American people.
Is there, Mr. President,
she said, the question was, how much credit are you taking for this economy? And he says, I'm giving credit to the American people. You would never see the former guy give credit to anyone else but himself. In fact, that was the main purpose of most of his press briefings, was to heap praise upon himself, to break his arm, patting himself on the back. Yeah, Julianne Gauthier puts it well. She says, the best answers. Joe has the best answers. Okay, back into the quick hits and the vaccinations. 4 million in one day is record-breaking. And hopefully, if this continues, Joe Biden will hit that mark of 200 million vaccinations by the end of 100 days. And that would be miraculous. He's getting shit done. Here's some more good news. Major League Baseball announced today that they are moving the All-Star game. They're moving it out of Georgia. This is tremendously good news because it means that the pressure we put on them, it's working. They don't want to be associated with that. And the same thing goes for the NFL, the NBA. They're all like reconsidering how they want to, if they want to do business in a place that is trying to suppress the vote. They don't want it. And this jackass here, Brian Kemp, he is responsible for it. And hopefully the message gets heard loud and clear to the other 42 states that are also considering doing these voter suppression laws. So a big thumbs up to Major League Baseball. That's how you play hardball. Speaking of hardball, John Boehner, some of you may recall John Boehner. He is the former GOP Speaker of the House, the original Orange Man. And this dude, he was a crying fool, man. I swear. He would get like a few words into his speech that was something, emotional, and he'd be all soppy on us. Anyway, John Boehner came out with a book. It's called On the House, right? And I guess it's a kind of tell-all thing, about his time in Congress. And he dishes some dirt. I'm no fan of this guy whatsoever. No. And he most certainly was not a fan of President Obama. At one point, he had said that President Obama was preachy. No, wait. It wasn't preachy. It was, haughty and lecturing is what he said about President Obama, which really, that's like an undercover way of saying he's uppity. He's an uppity Negro. He didn't say those words, but that's what he really wanted to say. Anyway, he was no fan of President Obama, but really, there was nobody, I think, John Boehner despised more than Ted Cruz. At one point, John Boehner had called Ted Cruz Lucifer in the flesh. He said, and that was one of the nicest things he said about Ted Cruz. But in the book, he drops a quote that I'm going to read to you. He says, "There is nothing more dangerous than a reckless asshole who thinks he is smarter than everyone else. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Senator Ted Cruz." Boom. Mic drop. And actually, I do have, I do have a sound clip from the book. Let's see what he has to say.
Ted Cruz, go fuck yourself. Ted Cruz, go fuck yourself. Ted Cruz.
That's not really what he said. That was somebody modified the audio clip, but whatever. He wants to say that. He'd probably say it to his face. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for the quick hits. And now we're going to motor right along into our timeline cleanse. Timeline cleanse. Yeah. All right, timeline cleanse. So this first clip is in the spirit of Easter. Easter. Everybody, every now and then, needs a little bit of a rub down, huh? You got some aches and pains. You got some sore muscles. Your back is hoiting. And in this case, this bunny is given a funny massage. Yeah, Kitty is getting her massage on. Massage, by the way, that's how the Kiwis say it, I believe. Massage? Or is that British? I don't know. I know wifey says massage. This is adorable. Who doesn't love bunnies? And by the way, what the hell does a bunny have to do with Easter? We're going to get into that later. All right. Next up, this next clip, if you are getting a massage, why not also get your nails done? But getting your nails done isn't for everyone. Take this next case where a dog is about to get their nails clipped, and I don't think they can handle it. It's like, wait, no, I don't. Puppy no like the nails being done. Yeah, you know what? When we get Rainy's nails done, I don't like it either because, like, you cut just like a fraction of an inch too long and it's bleeding. I've seen that before. I don't like it. That is drama dog. Next up, I haven't. I mentioned President Obama a few minutes ago, and I realized that I don't really get enough of Obama stuff in my show. You know, he's my favorite president of all time. He is my favorite. And I'm sure you guys have, by now, you guys have seen fan cams, right? If there are fan cams all over Twitter, fan cams for Harry Styles and for BTS and whatever actress there is, there's a fan cam for her. Well, I found a cool fan cam for my favorite president, President Obama. Look how smooth this brother is. Look how smooth. Look at the sparklies. He's got sparklies all around him. Yeah. Look at him draining threes. Swagger. Look in the Corvette. Stingray. Damn. Everybody want to be like Obama. Look at him laughing. Brushing off the shoulders. That brother's bad. Good God! All right, that's the President Obama fan cam. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our timeline cleanse for the day. And now we're going to keep it moving. We're keeping it moving right along, and we're going to get into the Derek Chauvin trial, day 5. So today was interesting as it was mostly police officers. And as you know, Derek Chauvin is the police officer that is on trial. Now, I thought this was important because, you know, when there's this thing called the thin blue line, right? Where is it the thin blue line or the blue line? Blue wall of silence, excuse me, right? It's like an unwritten rule. You don't speak out against your fellow officer. But in this instance, when your fellow officer is not doing his thing, or when he's acting inappropriately, yeah, you do have to break that wall of silence. So here's some testimony from probably one of the most powerful witnesses. Let's see.
What is your, your view of that use of force during that time period?
Totally unnecessary.
What do you mean?
Well, first of all, pulling him down to the ground, face down, and putting your knee on the neck for that amount of time is just uncalled for. I saw no reason why the officers felt they were in danger, if that's what they felt. And that's what they would have to feel to be able to use that kind of force.
So, in your opinion, should that restraint have stopped once he was handcuffed and prone on the ground?
Absolutely.
That's devastating. I don't care what side of the divide you're on. That is devastating testimony. He's been a cop for a very long time. I believe it's 30 years. And yeah, so this, by the way, this is Sergeant John Edwards. And I just have a picture of him up here because I was checking the comments during his commentary and, during his testimony. And all the ladies were just falling over his dreads and his 2 earrings and his Malcolm X glasses. They were just fangirling all over him. I do want to quickly address a question I got here in the chat from Echo King. Wants to know, do we support the blue in this chat? And my answer to that is, yeah, we do. We do. When there's trouble, the first phone number you think about calling is the cops, right? What we don't support are murderous cops or cops who are so indifferent to human life that they'll kneel on a person's neck and kill him, So we don't support that. But I believe the vast majority of cops are good and they signed up for the right reasons to help people to be good. But those ones that are deadly, we don't support that. Not one bit. So this Lieutenant Richard Zimmerman probably gave in my opinion, the best testimony of the entire trial. This is going to hurt the defense because if anybody was sitting on the fence, for you to hear it directly from a cop, from a veteran, from somebody who has done his job for a very long time, and he didn't present himself as radical or liberal. He's not a lefty. He's just a cop and he's just stating facts very matter-of-factly. So, yeah, that was devastating. And I think overall I want to acknowledge the prosecutors of this case so far. They have been doing this. They've been doing an extraordinary job presenting the facts, redirect questioning their witnesses, and even highlighting what would normally be a weakness for their case. They're getting out in front of it. So this first one here, this is Matthew Frank. This is the one I think we've seen the most of. This right here is Erin Eldridge. She did a fantastic job as well. Jerry Blackwell, you guys might recall him. Jerry Blackwell did the opening argument for the prosecution, and Stephen Schleicher is this guy here. So yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up, but my hopes are, higher than they were when this case first started. I didn't think. I'm kind of shell-shocked from all of the previous verdicts that have been rendered when it's an instance of cops versus black man. Cops always win. Black man always loses. So yeah. Next up, the U.S. Capitol attack. All right, so this happened several hours ago. We got an announcement that the Capitol was on lockdown again because of an incident involving a car ramming and gunfire. So at first, the reports were mixed and all over the place, and people are saying, no, there was no gunfire. Actually, there was. And it was the suspect who got shot himself. Apparently, person by the name of Noah Green, who was a 25-year-old supporter of the Nation of Islam. I don't have a picture of him. I don't plan on showing a picture of him, but he is a black man. And initially, the reports that came out, people were saying that he's white, he's a Trump supporter, blah, blah, blah. And no, he's black. He's a brother. And it sickens me. When these things happen, when it's like a mass shooting or an attack, the first thing I focus on is not what race he is. The first thing I focus on is, oh shit, I hope nobody got killed. Or, oh shit, I hope they get that asshole, whoever it is. But then when I hear, I've told you guys before, as a black man myself, I always try to show and prove. I always try to represent, because I know we, as a whole, as a race, are being judged by the actions of a few. When I get into a taxi cab, or back in the day when I was taking taxis, I make sure I give the driver a nice tip. Why? Because I want to make sure he picks up that next black man, right? So when shit like this happens, it makes me mad as hell. And the Nation of Islam, they are not respected by the world of Islam. They're like not even the Walmart of Islam. They're like Trumpers. They're like Islamic Trumpers. They're wrong. I'm gonna say that. I'll say it. Malcolm X used to be a member of the Nation of Islam, and then he left after he went and took his pilgrimage to Mecca and learned that the shit he was learning from the Nation of Islam was wrong. It was inconsistent with Islam. So anyway, so he died, but even more importantly, one of the officers at the scene died as a result of his injuries. And so that makes it even worse. Yes, Punxsutawney Mo points out the Nation of Islam is anti-Semitic. That's correct. So yeah, an officer has died and the suspect has died. And then the other officer is still in the hospital. I don't have a current update on his, physical status, but my thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. I hope that he recovers. And this is just a senseless act. Republicans up until today had been calling for the fencing that surrounds the U.S. Capitol to come down. And now, those calls for the fencing to come down, they're not aging well. They're aging poorly. It's clear. Fox Hill Dreams is saying he was slashed in the face with a knife. That's terrible. I mean, I don't know if that guy was mentally ill. It's possible. Some folks had seen some posts that he made on his Facebook. He seemed like a fanatic to me. But the fact remains that those fences, they probably might need to stay up for the rest of the year. The National Guard was mobilized to, in a show of strength in case there was any kind of second wave, in case that thing was a first thing. It seems like a one-off. It seems like that guy was just acting on his own. But yeah, you got to keep that fence up. You got to keep the people safe. And the Republicans actually do need to come out and be vocal. And I know what you guys are going to say. Oh, they're never responsible. They never do the right thing. And yeah, they don't. But that doesn't mean we stop demanding that they do the right thing. That's it. We have to be on record calling them out and say, hey, talk to your peoples. Now, this guy, who knows if he was a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter. But Democrats and Republicans have to take these attacks on the U.S. Capitol as bipartisan as possible. There can be no daylight between. Thank you. Cha-Cha says this should not be political. This is the United States of America. If it's a Democrat who attacks the Capitol, if it's a Republican, if it's an anarchist, whatever, they must be strongly denounced. And all acts like this have to be strongly denounced. Would I like to see the fences come down? Sure. We don't like to see our government, wrapped in razor barbed wire and crazy fences. But yeah, we got to keep our legislators safe. We're the ones who elected them to go and pass laws on our behalf, and they should be able to do that without fearing for their life every minute of the day. Yeah. So next up, this jackass, man. It's amazing that he has not stepped down yet. This story just keeps getting worse and worse. So yesterday we learned that Matt Gaetz had been showing his coworkers in Congress pictures of his sexual exploits. And you see the picture on the screen right now. Apparently, he was using Apple Pay and Cash App to pay prostitutes. Like, I used to think Apple Pay was like, you use that to buy coffee. I didn't know you could use that to buy prostitutes. That's weird to me. And Roger Stone came out on Parler and made a comment about Matt Gaetz, saying, Congressman Matt Gaetz has done nothing wrong, must go on offense. Well, you know, if Roger Stone, this Batman rogue's villain, says that you're innocent, you must absolutely be guilty. You must. This guy has a fiance. He's engaged. This is a complete shit show. And it's the only thing that's more striking is that the right wing, really, they've just been reticent to come out and say anything to denounce him at all. They're going out of their way to be silent. My guess is that some of his shit leads back to Trump. It must. It must. He was one of Trump's most ardent supporters, and his behavior kind of models the way Trump operates. So I honestly would not be surprised if there's some kind of link up, especially if Roger Stone is involved. And Valerie G says the whole thing is disgusting. Marie from New Jersey is saying she's seeing stories he is about to be indicted. That I want to see. I want to see him do a perp walk. Yeah, and let's see. And Tracy M is asking, but Cuomo has to resign. I don't know. I mean, he says he's not going to resign. He says he's going to wait and see the outcome of the investigation. But if Andrew Cuomo knows in his heart that he's guilty of harassing women, he should resign. He should do the right thing, and then he should get some counseling for that shit, and stand up and take your licks. If he's guilty, if he knows that he actually did this, don't waste the taxpayers' money on an investigation if you know at the end of the day you are guilty. So, same thing goes with Matt Gaetz. You know, if he knows he's guilty, dude, don't waste our time. Just step up and say, I was wrong. But, you know, the GOP, they don't do that. They don't take responsibility for their actions. And I understand today Al Franken was trending because of Matt Gaetz. And people frequently look at Al Franken and say, he should never have resigned. But if Al Franken resigned, it's because he felt some culpability for what he did. You know, I don't know if he was being pressured to do so, but I know if I was innocent, you couldn't pressure me to do shit, right? So people should really stop, doing that Al Franken thing. I think Al Franken is a grown man, and he made a decision based on whatever. But you make a decision, that's it. He wasn't forced to resign. He resigned. So, but people are upset because it seems like the people on the right do not hold themselves up to the same standards that we hold ourselves up to. So it's like an uneven playing field. So we'll see what happens. I'm not expecting a single Republican to come out and speak out against Matt Gaetz, even if he is indicted. All right, so let's move right along to Good Friday. So Good Friday always comes on the Friday before Easter. And so I myself, I am Muslim, right? And I always kind of wondered, like, why do they call it? I never even really, I knew Good Friday had something to do with Jesus, right? But I never actually took the time to look into why do they call it Good Friday? Well, they call it Good Friday because Friday was the day that Jesus died on the cross. And I think to myself, well, shit, why would it be good then? Because really, I know the story well enough to know that he died a gruesome, brutal death. They whipped him 39 times and they put a crown of thorns around his head and they nailed him. They nailed him with these really thick metal nails to a wooden cross. And those are the nails right there. That's brutal. Some people, like the Germans, for instance, they call it, forgive my pronunciation, they call it Karfreitag or Sorrowful Friday. That makes sense to me. But, it's a mix of good and bad. But we're mainly, they call it Good Friday because we're looking at the good. And the good of what he did was a sacrifice, that he sacrificed himself to absolve humans of our sins. Yeah. Without his death and resurrection, Christians believe that you couldn't have salvation without his death and resurrection, because we know 3 days after he died, he rose again, as it's told in the Bible. So then I got to thinking about Easter, because Easter is coming up, and I was, so what is the whole thing about Easter eggs? What the hell do eggs have to do with Easter, right? Why are they painted? And, so apparently Easter eggs are a pagan tradition, right? The eggs, they represent life and and they also represent the resurrection of Jesus. But eggs were considered a forbidden food during Lent, which comes before Easter. And so as a celebration of the ending of Lent, they would paint eggs. You couldn't eat eggs during Lent. And then the rolling of Easter eggs on the White House lawn, that has nothing, there's no religious significance to that whatsoever. But some people say when you roll the egg, it's similar to the rolling of the boulder that was, hang on, let me just go back. You see that boulder there? Yeah, it's similar. It's similar to the rolling of the boulder away from the opening of the cave where Jesus's body was. And what about candy and like chocolate eggs and jelly beans? Well, it's the same thing, they're all boulder shaped. They're all egg shaped, right? So jelly beans, it turns out, they produce 16 billion jelly beans every year, and they started eating them in 1930. For what reason, I don't know. Now, what about the Easter Bunny? Huh? You guys ever wonder what does an Easter Bunny have to do with eggs? Right? They can't lay eggs, right? No, they don't lay eggs. Well, bunnies they reproduce prolifically. Yeah, they do that hibbity dibbity. So they also represent life and fertility, as Karen Purdy just points out. Yes, and they're also cute. So there's a few different things, right? One, there was a pagan goddess named Eostra, right? And her symbol was a bunny, was a rabbit, right? Which represents fertility. And some people say that the whole thing with Easter bunnies and eggs, it came to America in the 1700s, right? In the 1700s, that was a story that they told their children, that there was a bunny named Osterhaze. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right either. Osterhaze, that could lay eggs. This rabbit could lay eggs. And so the kids, the children, they would create little nests for the bunny to put their eggs in. And then the tradition spread all across America, and hence that's why you have the Easter bunny. I love this Bugs Bunny. Osterhaze. Sylvia Correa is spelling it out properly for me. And Pandora says bunnies shit a lot. I love this Bugs Bunny cartoon. This is one, this little bratty kitty says, I want an Easter egg, I want an Easter egg, I want an Easter egg. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's my Reader's Digest edition of the meaning of Good Friday and Easter. I'm trying to learn things about other religions and other points of view. It's always good, I think, to keep an open mind about, other people's point of views. That's how you fit into this world a little bit better. Let's see. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for today's episode of You Raggedy Bush. And today's You Raggedy Bush is Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert, remember I mentioned to you guys that that there were certain members on the right who were saying that it was time for us to take away the gates, the fences from being around Congress. Well, Lauren Boebert made a whole video about it, and this sure as hell did not age well.
I'm Lauren Boebert, a mom, a small business owner, a defender of freedom. Here's what I know. You protect what you love. President Trump built a big, beautiful wall because he loves America, and he wanted to secure our country and protect us from drugs, illegal aliens pouring into our communities, and sex traffickers. Democrats, they fought him every step of the way. And now, welcome to Fort Pelosi, where Democrats decry walls from within their own heavily guarded razor wire wall. Democrats don't want to protect you because they don't care about you, but they'll spare no expense protecting themselves.
We will not build a wall.
No, there will not be another foot of wall constructed on my administration.
I'm not
number
for a
one.
wall. I'm not for a wall.
It's time to cut the crap and remember, this is the people's house. Madam Speaker, tear down this wall.
Interesting. You heard that gunshot at the end of the video, just in case you missed the whole point. That is her whole shtick. Anytime she appears, she's got a gun. She made another video where she was brandishing her gun, and she said she was going to be walking all around D.C. with her gun, which is not permitted in Washington, D.C. And then she had to backtrack and say, oh, no, I wasn't walking around D.C. with a gun. That was just a green screen. Yeah, so this is an actual member of Congress, right, who was strongly advocating for the removal of the fence around the Capitol. The reason this fence had to be erected is because of January 6th because of all the insurrectionist idiots that she was helping to incite with her tweets about today is 1776 and informing people where Speaker Pelosi was while the attack was in progress. This person needs to be expelled from Congress. There's no reason for her to be there. She is dangerous. She is unhinged. She is just as bad as Marjorie Taylor Greene, who also, I think a few people mentioned earlier, Marjorie Taylor Greene was calling the fence Fort Pelosi. Well, thankfully, Fort Pelosi is up protecting people like this idiot from other idiots coming on the grounds with their guns and their knives and their handcuffs and their bear spray and all that shit. Come on. We just had a deadly, devastating attack on January 6th that you, Lauren Boebert, are partially responsible for. I would think, like, if it was me, if I was as guilty as she is in inciting insurrection, I would keep my mouth zipped shut. I would wait until this shit passed over. In fact, I might try to remake myself and be a hardliner against insurrection, against sedition. I would make videos saying insurrection is wrong. Sedition is wrong. We are the United States. We need to be like this. We might disagree with Democrats, but at the end of the day, we're all Americans. Try something like that instead of making stupid, kitschy videos about tear down this wall. That wall, that fence is protecting your ass. So, yeah, Lauren Boebert, you a raggedy bitch, and you need to go. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I always forget to ask you guys to please do me a favor, and if you can, hit that like button. Oh, this like button. Hit the thumbs up, the like button that appears somewhere down here in this video. And if you don't already subscribe to this channel, to the Really American channel, please do so. There is fantastic content, not just from myself, but also from Chip Franklin and a bunch of other folks. Check it out. When this show is over, peruse the videos we have. And Really American is going to be expanding its content, and I'm really excited about it. I look forward to it. All right. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Littlest President. The Littlest President is available on BrooklynDadDefiant.com. Starshumate says that made my pressure jump up. What was it? Was it my The Littlest President? Let's see. Lee Saunders says she's more annoyed at Mitt Romney. She's a lost cause, but he pretends to be the moderate face. Yes. Excuse me. Okay, so The Littlest President, as I've told you before, it's available on BrooklynDadDefiant.com. If you get it on BrooklynDadDefiant.com and other cool website, well, this is the only website where you can get this beautiful signature, this handwriting, and it says Hui Juan. By the way, Solid Blue Sister, your book is officially on the way. Yes. Solid Blue Sister asked me to autograph it and make a special note about her dad, who was a postal service worker. So we thank him for his service to the Postal Service. The Littlest President is starring President Barack Obama, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Joseph R. Biden, And the R stands for ready to kick that ass. Whew. Bladder bear pooping, holding the puppet strings on Spanky McDumbass. Complicit Barbie. Rudy Giuliani. Gummy McJuicebox. Kellyanne Conjob. Stephen the Snake Miller. And Mitch McTurtle McConnell. Has anyone seen Solid Blue Sister today? Is she in the show? Is she here with us today? Huh? No? Yes? No? No? Yes? No? Yes? No? Yes. Okay, now it's time for our favorite page, because this is Spanky McDumbass. Spanky McDumbass is sad. She used to be rich. He used to be a businessman. He used to be a TV star. He used to be the littlest president. But now Spanky McDumbass is in jail. How did he get here? Let's go back. Yes, let's go back, shall we? And I'm going to say, in recognition of the Matt Gaetz drama, we are going to cover this page here. During that time, Spanky was on a bus. So during the time when his TV show, The Epistant, was being filmed, Spanky was on a bus. He bragged to some guy about how he used to chase married women. He bragged about sexual assault. He bragged about how he would grab women's vaginas and they would let him. Spanky was being recorded the entire time. Spanky was a disgusting person. Now, does anybody think that a guy like this would have a problem if Matt Gaetz shared some pictures with him of his own sexual exploits? I don't think so. In fact, it still bugs the hell out of me that the entire Republican Party decided that it was not a deal breaker for this guy to be a sexual assaulter, to be a rapist. 74 million of them, 74 million decided that that's okay. Yeah, we don't care. We don't care. We just like the tax cuts and we like the racism. We do. Because what else really was he offering? Nothing. We see already in the first 3 months of Joe Biden's tenure, he's already gotten a ton of shit done. He's not distracted by golf or by Twitter or anything. He's just, every day he's getting to work. He is working as though his days are numbered. I said it. When you know that you have precious little time, you try to get as much stuff done as possible. I'm not saying that he's going anywhere anytime soon. I'm just saying that it feels to me like he is focused as faheezy on getting shit done and nothing else. No bullshit, no nonsense. He doesn't care about rallies. He doesn't care about, crowd size. He doesn't give a shit about that. He doesn't care about credit. Yeah, give the credit to the American people. And now he's working on infrastructure too. Whew. He is a man on a mission. The Trump Reaper wants to know, BDD, do you have books up for auction and or sale on eBarf? I do not, actually. I don't. Why would I auction books off? I don't know. I would love to know definitively if somebody actually put the autographed book that I signed for Spanky. I want to know if somebody actually put that book in his hands and let him read it. I want to know. I swear, I really do want to know if he saw it and if he was mad. Let's see. Yes, Cha-Cha says he's dedicated to our country. Focused on fahizis. Yeah. Tina G says President Biden is just a man on a mission to take care of the American people. Cindy wants to know, do you think 45 used Gaetz as his pimp? How else could he get his rocks off in the White House? That's an excellent question. And you know what I think? I think if Gaetz has a chance to escape serious prosecution on this, because, I mean, this is sex trafficking we're talking about. We're talking about sex trafficking. That's not a small thing. That's the kind of thing that can destroy your life. And I think if he has a chance to roll on somebody that's higher up in the food chain, I think he'll do it. Absolutely think he'll do it. Let's see. So I got time for this many more questions. Let's see. What else do we got here? Let's see. Sylvia Correa wants to know, could he even read it? That remains to be seen, but it does have pictures in it, though. Let's see. Jennifer Rayner says, BDD, don't you want to make some money? I would. Are you referring to the eBay thing? I've actually never, ever, ever dealt with eBay. I understand the whole concept, how it works. You you bid on things, and then at the very last second, somebody else comes and bids like a penny more than you. I don't know, but I don't even think I've ever auctioned anything on eBay. Says, oh, put one up for auction and raise funds. But again, I don't understand, Trump Reaper. Why would somebody bid in an auction for it? Oh, like an autographed thing. Still, they can get that, cheap. Just go to my website. I don't get. It's an interesting idea. Let me think about that. I don't know if it's worth the hassle. But yeah, I will think on this. Fox Hill Dreams wants to know, how is the kitten with the weak leg? She's cute. The leg is still weak. The doctor explained to us that muscles are kind of wrapped around the bone in the knee in a strange way, so she can't straighten it out. It's always bent like this. But, she's getting along. She's the loud one in the house. Like, she will grab one of her toys. Like, we bought her this fuzzy snake thing, and she puts it in her mouth, and she'll drop it, and she just keep meowing until you come and play with her. And the cats are hilarious. They're like so cheap to entertain. We give them one tiny little piece of Rain's dog food, and they will knock that around for an hour, and they're perfectly fine. So yeah, the kittens are doing well. All right, guys, my time have expired. I want to thank you all. Oh, wait. This is an important question. This is from Pasta D, who wants to know, why did the chicken cross the road? And the answer is to get to the other side where the bunny was stealing her eggs. And yeah. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. And if you're going out this weekend, please be sure to wear your masks, wear your gloves, keep your social distance 6 feet or better, and have a lovely, wonderful, relaxing Easter weekend. I'll be here Monday, same time, same place. I love you all. Peace. Boom. Hey! Oh, so we got some alternate answers. Samantha Hawkins says the chicken crossed the road to not catch COVID. That's a good one. That's good, yeah. And we got another one here. Wilbur McCarthy, our dog lover buddy, says, why did the pervert cross the road? Because his dick was in the chicken. Yikes. Hey! Karen Purdy is tickling the ivories. Oh, Roger wants to know, how was Godzilla? It was awesome. If you like monster movies, you'll enjoy it. It was good.